Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing the Flex Fuel Kit from Delicious Tuning, which has been a long time partner of ours. And this is a new kit for the Generation 2. So for the Gen 2 cars, this is a lot different. We're going to be installing the kit. I'm going to go over everything in detail with you guys. Let's get to it and we'll go through all the details. This is really simple. We're going to disconnect the battery over there. We're going to pull the fuel pump fuse. And the reason you want to do this is because Flex Fuel makes more power. And it's cheaper. The fuel is actually cheaper, and this is actually a green product, so we're not modifying anything emissions related to the car. We're just allowing it and changing the sensors to be able to read Flex Fuel and give it more power. So our car is a stock car besides the air intake. It's got a stock header on it, and it's got an aftermarket cat back. So everything on this car is stock. This is the best way to make power on the car. Let's get to it, and I'll give you guys some more details as we go. If you guys watched our last video, we just finished the install and testing of our new version 2 hood shocks. So those are up on the website now. You can watch the video. I'll post the link up in the corner for that one. But that's something we've been working on. I promise you guys we get back to doing some installs. Disconnect these two units right down here, these right there and there. So just a quick recap, what Caleb did is we actually removed this line here from the right side and switched it over to the left, and the left line we actually completely removed. So we have to mount our sensor. So this is gonna go right here. This is a proprietary sensor from Delicious Tuning from the Flex Fuel Kit. And what's gonna happen is this line is gonna come from the OEM side. It's gonna come back around to here, and this one's gonna come down and collect onto that bottom piece there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna get this in the factory OEM spot right here. Clip that in, I'm gonna push this in and clip it. And then this one's gonna come around. I'm gonna push these two out. Do this, I'm gonna pull off the cap so nothing's in there. I'm gonna put this on this side right here. You can see how it fits in. And this one's gonna go straight down in here. I'm gonna take my protector out, set that aside, drop this guy down in here, attach to the fuel. I'm gonna push it down. I'm gonna hold the bottom. Like that way. Okay, so now that that's down, I'm gonna bring this into the factory spot. And I don't like how, I'm gonna take this piece out. And there she goes. All right guys, now that we have the Flex Fuel sensor and we're gonna get onto the wiring. What we did is, just to recap, we removed one of the lines on the left side, replaced it with the one on the right side, and then now we brought this back up. So this is the in, and this is gonna come back in through the sensor, measure, so we can actually do the calibration and the tune of what your E content is, and then this actually goes back in, and then this goes into your injectors and everything like that. So this is the inside, and this is the return. This is the key to the Delicious Tuning Flex Fuel Kit. This is the control box for it. So this is gonna mount back in this corner up underneath here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this set over here right now, and I'm gonna get my wiring done underneath all this stuff. And I'll show you exactly where this is all gonna go in just a second here. And we'll clean this all up and everything like that. But this one's gonna go underneath all these these fuel lines, and this is gonna come back up and around. It's gonna plug right into the sensor itself. Okay, and then I'll get that in a second. And then this one is gonna jump into this OEM big harness here. So let's get that out. Okay, so we're gonna take that. And what that does is this jumps. So basically we're going in, we're gonna go like this. And we're gonna take this sensor, we're gonna plug this one in here. And everything's nice and secure. Everything's good here. And I don't like how I did that. This is up above, so let me get this below all these harnesses. So I wanna get this underneath all this. And then we can clean it all up after the fact. But again, this is gonna come in here. This is the male side. And this is a male side, this is the female side. We're gonna put this in through here. And make sure everything's good and connected as it is. And then we can tighten all this, and then this box can actually come back through here nice and proper. So we'll show you what it looks like all cleaned up. And then don't forget to plug this in. So this is gonna come around. It's this way. So the plug is upside down, so just make sure you guys know that, make sure it clicks in. For a professional install, what we did and what we changed on this. We actually undid the fuel lines. So I'm gonna suggest that in the beginning, when you run and you're doing these fuel lines and they're both disconnected, I would suggest running this, the box. You can put all this wire, if you look at it right here, it's all behind these hard lines so that they're gonna be tucked away and it comes up and comes underneath here. So it's a lot cleaner of a look and it gives you a lot more extra slack up here so you can make it look really OEM and it's just hidden underneath here. So we're just gonna put these lines back in and then we'll go from there. So let me show you guys how that works again. So this guy's gonna come in here. And this is gonna come into the sensor. Hear that click? And then this one's gonna click. So those are there, that's gonna pop in there. And then this one's got a little bit of fuel in it. So I'm gonna drop this one down in here real quick. And you're gonna hear that click as well. Okay, that's in. Okay, that clicked in. We're good. So as you guys can see, the wires are actually behind all that. So this is the wire right here. It's these two with the braiding on them. So they're behind all that stuff. So it's just cleaner and it keeps it tucked away. And it's not just gonna be like loose and hanging out there. All right guys, so we're almost wrapped up here. What I'm gonna do is, these weren't included in the kit. We had some zip ties. We're just gonna zip tie some of this stuff here so it just looks nice and OEM. So these are the two wires coming up. So I'm gonna get this one on taut right here. I'm gonna bring it around like this. So I'm gonna get one zip tie here. I'm gonna take another one, I'm gonna put it back over here. So this is the jumper right here. So I'm just gonna kind of tuck this underneath this wire, go like this, and I'm gonna zip tie right around here. So all that is nice and clean. There we go, we just cut that off. The last thing we have to do is we have to mount the actual box. Okay, there's gonna be a spot down in there. So what I'm gonna do to mount this box is thank you, sir. I'm gonna pop this clip off, and this is how Delicious recommends it. So this clip and this whole big harness here is just gonna get popped off. So I'm using a pretty good sized screwdriver, there. So sounds like you break something, but you don't. So now that's just off the firewall itself, or the sidewall. And then this is just gonna come in here, and we're gonna end up mounting this just like this. That little spot just gave that much extra little space. So let's clean the spot back here and put this on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mount the soft side of the Velcro right in the middle of this. So you just gotta get the clear tab off. This stuff's super sticky, so just be careful. We already cleaned this off, so it's nice and clean. We're gonna put this here. I'm gonna do one last little test to see where this is gonna go. I'm gonna take note where the Velcro is. So it's right here. I'm gonna put this piece right here. It's not gonna make contact to all sides and everything like that. As long as it makes a little bit of contact so this thing's not vibrating around and stuff, that's gonna be the key. So again, I'm right here. I'm just gonna put this guy nice and square right there. Actually has a little bit of a thing there. Let's see if I can pull this underneath this harness here. Okay, so she's not gonna move around, she's nice and tight. And I think everything looks really good. I'm gonna get another zip tie right here though. Where's my zip tie? So I'm gonna get one more zip tie. I'm gonna zip tie this harness right down through here. Now make sure you guys stay tuned to our next video where we actually load the tune onto the car and give you guys some results and some feedback on how it is. This video is intended just to show you guys how to just do the flex fuel kit itself. Okay, so she's all done. So the last thing we gotta do is put the battery on, and then we need to check to make sure that we need to basically turn the ignition on and plumb the system to see if there's any leaks. So basically you just wanna get this thing like almost to the start position where it actually, you can hear the fuel pump, it's kind of turning on, the gauge cluster and everything's going. So that's pushing fuel up front. So I'm just gonna turn it off. I'm gonna do it again. And actually Caleb's out there checking for any fuel. So it's good to have two people doing this at the same time. Per the instructions, they suggest to do this 10 times. So we'll just speed through this real quick. Start it up. Huh? Oh. Get that whistle.
Probably just like since
Is it the intake?
Oh yeah, the intake's making that sound, yeah.
So guys, look at this. This is bad. We don't have any fuel. All All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching the video. Make sure you stay tuned to the next video. We're gonna actually talk about EcuTech and installing the EVI and the Bluetooth and loading the tune on through the computer and everything like that. So what we did is we've got the flex fuel, everything in the engine bay, right? It's all done right here. It's all done and complete. We got the 2 Molex plugs that we jumped everything through here so that it can go back to the box. We have the connection here for power, accessory, and a ground into the actual flex fuel. We made all our connections down there and up in here with the flex fuel units themselves. Everything looks really OEM. We got the wires tucked behind. So stay tuned for the next video and we'll go over the EcuTech stuff and how to get this thing making some more power.